All right, we're rolling.
Okay, rolling.
We're rolling.
Ready.
On what might be the first ever episode. It's our first recording. So if you're hearing this out of order, or maybe we post it later, this is actually the first time we're recording this new podcast that we came up with a name about 3 days ago. Mm-hmm. But I won't do that.
Yeah, we've had the idea for the podcast for a while. We knew. How did it start? It started from like.
We'll start with the song we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
But it was just like the kind of things we talked about normally, and we thought, what if we just recorded this?
Yeah, because we have some good banter, and we think that we have thought-provoking banter.
Will today be thought-provoking?
Yes, of course. We're always thought-provoking. I mean, I'm not saying that thoughts are life-changing. I'm just saying it might make you think about things differently, which is, I don't know, kind of fun.
Yeah, our pug is here too. So if there's any sort of snortling, sniffing,
you'll hear that.
You might hear that in the background often. And when we do eventually get this going on video, you'll see her. So this podcast is called But I Won't Do That. The idea is it will bring up song lyrics, not so much for the purpose of praise. We're not here to sort of analyze Bob Dylan's poetry, but it's more like reconsidering lyrics, maybe mocking lyrics.
Well,
reconsidering lyrics.
Okay. What are you wanting to change the name now? Reconsidering lyrics.
No, that sounds so boring.
I know.
Sounds like a college class.
Yeah.
But maybe you've had this. Okay, so I'm thinking of this phenomenon when you're a kid and you're really into a song, and you know all the lyrics, and then you grow up and you're like, fuck, this song's about that? Like, okay, I'll like it as an example. So my parents are really into Jackson Browne, and they had Jackson Browne's records, and my all-time favorite Jackson Browne record is Running on Empty.
Oh, okay.
Incredible album.
I love that song too.
He recorded the album on tour, so it has this very organic feel to it, and it's actually kind of a haunting album in a lot of ways. A lot of songs about loneliness and travel. But there's one song on that album called Rosie. Do you know the song?
No.
And the song Rosie, it's like the lyrics are like, she was hanging out by my piano. Rosie, looks like it's just you and me again tonight. And it sounds on the surface level, well, to like a 10-year-old kid, like it's about a woman.
Yeah.
No, the song's about his hand. The song's about jerking off. There's even lyrics in there that say like, Rosie, I got to hand it to you.
Oh God, that's a little on the nose.
It's anyway. So this idea that sometimes you hear lyrics and then later you're like, wow, I never realized that.
I totally have that song too. My first, what are the little ones called? 45?
45s, yeah.
Okay, my first 45 record I bought at Licorice Pizza, and it was Billy Joel's Big Shot.
Yeah, okay.
That was okay. Yeah, I love.
I had similar experiences with this song. Go ahead.
Okay, so I would just play it, and I would clean the house, and that was how I got my arcade money. And so I would clean the house to that, and just keep. This is like where you had to keep putting the needle on the record. So anyway, I knew every word to that. So I could still to this day. We went up down driving in a limousine and a Vine Park Avenue closed. I didn't know what anything meant.
Yeah, me too.
And then I was like, she had a Dom Perignon in her hand and a spoon up her nose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, also, I would sing, she had a Dom in her hand and a spoon up her nose, because I didn't know Dom Perignon. I didn't know what that word was even.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. And then once I got the lyrics, well, I actually like the song even better because it's very style,
Yeah.
all impressed with your Halston dress and the people that you knew at Elaine's. And the thing is, too, when it all came together for me was when I read Andy Warhol's diaries. It talks about all of them. Anyway, it was just like, oh my God, that's what the song means.
Yeah. Yeah. Billy Joel's another one. Love Billy Joel. A lot of lyrics that later I was like, oh. And I don't know that this podcast is going to be that revelatory to you, listener. It's a lot more about us considering the tone, maybe some individual lines, like today's song, our first recording. Today we are kicking off with John Denver's Leaving on a Jet Plane. You're listening to But I Won't Do That, an irreverent dive into the lyrics, music, and videos of some of our favorite songs.
Do we want to say leaving comma on a jet plane?
So on the official John Denver website, johndenver.com, it is leaving comma on a jet plane, which seems a little, grammatically, would you need to have leaving on a jet plane?
What's dumb. It's just leaving on a jet plane, like you're getting out of here. Who would ever say comma?
Yeah, and it's funny though because my trusty sidekick in this project is my favorite website, which you'll hear me talk about, and you'll be like bored with it by the third episode. Is me talking about Wikipedia. My favorite website. I do love it, and I think it's the greatest website. I don't think there's a close second. Anyway, so Wikipedia. I'll be going to the Wikipedia entry and link hopping to kind of get us some additional information as we go. Let's give a little context, and I'm going to say this about every episode. It might be a good idea now to pause us and go and listen to this song. There's multiple versions, as we're going to talk about. The John Denver version, the Peter, Paul, and Mary version are the most famous. You might want to listen to it to remind yourself, or maybe you just know it, and we can keep rolling. However, Leaving on a Jet Plane, from Wikipedia, it's a song written and recorded by John Denver in 1966, included on his debut demo, which he gave out as presents for Christmas that year. His then producer, a man named Milt Oken, convinced him to change the title and was renamed Leaving on a Jet Plane. No comma in the Wikipedia article. In 1969, folk group Peter, Paul, and Mary's version hit number 1, their most successful single. It reached number 1 in Canada and number 2 in the UK. Then he recorded it again for his debut studio album. It was released as a single in 1969, and his best-known song, but his single failed to chart. Interesting.
God, that's a bummer.
Yeah, well...
Sorry, John.
He had a good career. Clocks in at 3 minutes and 37 seconds. All right, so Leaving on a Jet Plane ostensibly is about...
Well, going away. Okay, this is how it happened. We're in the car. I remember we're driving on PCH. We're in Laguna Niguel, by the Ritz-Carlton area. Okay. I have these weird visceral memories of where I am when I'm listening to songs or realizing something. And we're listening to the song and we're looking at each other at the same time. This is what this song is saying. God, what a dick. Because he's
Right. We'll get into sort of our revelation. But the song, how would you describe what the song's about?
Oh, just in general?
Yeah.
You just think he's a musician and he's leaving.
Yeah. And he's just sort of longing and he's sad that he's leaving. About the writing of the song, Denver was an unknown musician at the time, and he was waiting at the Washington National Airport. And he later said this to BBC Radio, that he was waiting in the airport, and basically he just kind of, he wanted the song to be about lonely and anguished, being away from loved ones. He said, it doesn't conjure up Boeing 707s or 747s for me as much as it does the simple scenes of leaving. Bags packed, standing by the front door, taxi pulling up in the early morning hours. Right. And this is an interesting note, though. He's not writing at all about the Vietnam War, but when Peter, Paul, and Mary covered the song, it was interpreted by some as a protest song about a soldier's impending deployment. I think an interesting way that we sort of overlay art onto a time, even if that art wasn't about those events. It's not art imitating life. It's art.
Well, how did you always think of the song, though? What was your impression of that song?
Honestly, the John Denver, Peter, Paul, and Mary version, I just it was one of those, to me, generic 60s, 70s songs, sort of...
Man, woman.
Sweet melody. Yeah, I will say there's a really cool listener. I'll direct you to this direction. There's this really cool punk band called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes that does covers. Their entire career, I suppose they have some original music, but most of it's covers. And their debut album has Leaving on a Jet Plane is at like 180 beats per minute. They just blow through it, and it's so good. And actually, that's the version I really know. Like, I listened to that version a lot, and only later, like, listened more to like the original. And but yeah, I never thought that deeply about it. I certainly never thought it was like a protest song. And as Denver says, it's not. But yeah, I don't know. It just struck me as sort of a
man, woman is how I saw it, and kind of like, I'm sorry, babe, gotta go.
Yeah.
That's like overall impression.
Well, let's get into the lyrics now and talk about our impressions in 2025 upon reconsidering.
Okay.
Periodically through this episode, you'll be hearing bits and pieces of the tune from some karaoke version I found because I'm quite sure we don't have the rights to play the song. It's a little up in the air, We did some research, and it's not entirely clear.
Dan did some research.
Could we use a few seconds here and there? Would that be sort of fair use? It's not clear, so we're going to kind of stay on the on the
better safe than sorry.
Yeah. All right. So to Becky's point about it kind of sounding like just a man-woman love song, the first verse, he says, "All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up and say goodbye." She's sleeping.
Yeah.
By the way, in all these songs, we're going to use he, she. I mean, I ostensibly that's what this is about. We're not trying to make any, gender statements here with this analysis. But either way, so his bags are packed, but he's at her door.
He's outside her door.
So he's gone to her place in the early morning.
I mean, well, to me, he slept there, and now he's outside the door. He's leaving from her house.
Oh, okay. The dawn is breaking. It's early morn. The taxi's waiting. He's blowing his horn. Nice.
Rhyming.
Nice. Morn. Already I'm so lonesome I could die.
Die?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, this is going to be a recurring theme, I think, in the show.
It's a little serious. It's a little like, are you good? You're going to die?
Well, desperate men is going to be a theme.
Yeah. Well, also, I'm sure it'll go both ways.
Yeah.
There's a couple heart songs I can think of off the top of my head.
Sure.
But, yeah, I mean, sir, if you're already so lonesome you could die, you were more lonesome before you packed your bags.
Yeah.
But also you're waiting outside her door. Like, why didn't you wake her up and say, you're kind of creating your own loneliness.
Yeah.
It's like you want to wallow.
Oh, you think a little bit of wallowing?
I think there's wallowing.
Oh, okay.
He's certainly wallowing if he's like not waking her up.
Yeah.
Like, this is the love of his life. He's not going to wake her up and say goodbye.
But then he also says, "So kiss me and smile for me." So maybe he does wake her up eventually.
Well, so kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. I think this is him gone.
Yeah.
You think he did wake her up?
I don't know.
He's already outside, and then the taxi's blowing his horn, and he goes back in.
Well, maybe the horn woke her up.
She came out there.
She looked out with the sleepy, like sleep-crusted eyes and was like, "What's all the racket?" And he's like, "Well, kiss me and smile for me." But then we get to
I can see that.
a crucial phrase in this song. Mm-hmm. "Tell me that you'll wait for me."
Yeah, I think that's a little problematic.
And I can see why this would evoke Vietnam images for people listening, right? The deploying soldier, wait for me while I'm serving our country. But
that's one thing.
Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. All right. And he's more metaphorical since he's down on the sidewalk and she's upstairs.
Yeah. He wants a big squeeze.
Yeah.
But the thing is, okay, I think the overlay of the Vietnam War and tell me that you'll wait for me, all that, okay, that's another layer. But even he says it's not about that. So the fact that he's saying, tell me that you'll wait for me. And to him, like when we were listening, we weren't thinking it was a war. We didn't even,
oh, no,
we hadn't done our deep dive yet. So we didn't even know that Peter, Paul, and Mary's version had the Vietnam War
Right.
overlay. So I think that just for a guy to say, tell me that you'll wait for me.
Please tell us.
Yeah, he's going to be out on the road doing God knows what with God knows who. Yet, oh, I'm so lonesome I could die. This guy's already got issues. So we know he's going to go try and like fill up the hole in his heart by other holes.
That's very poetic, Becky.
Thank you.
So hold on. We're going to come back to that point in a second. Then comes the famous refrain, because I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. All right, it's very beautiful. That chorus is really pretty. But now we connect these two threads, right? The man has issues. He's so lonesome he could die. Tell me you'll wait for me. The very next line, second verse. There's so many times I've let you down. So many times I've played around.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you now, they don't mean a thing.
Blah, blah, sick. That's the grossest thing. Like,
Well, it's cliche.
beyond that, it's like, I can do whatever the hell I want. You be the good little wifey or girlfriend or whatever. You stay there and wait for me, chaste, smiling for me, and tell me that you'll never let me go. It's so ridiculous.
Well, he seems to be requiring something, right? He's demanding something. He's romanticizing his departure, but also admitting that he's, so many times I've played around, or as the Gimme Gimmes sang it, so many times I fucked around.
Good job, Gimme Gimmes.
But the next line though, the promise here. Every place I go, I'll think of you. Wah, wah.
Sick.
Every song I sing, I'll sing for you.
Okay, platitude.
When I come back, I'll bring your wedding ring.
No, sir. You can take your ring and shove it, is how I feel about that line. Because, like, listen, I played around. I let you down. They don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I'm thinking about you while I'm fucking her. Every song I sing for you while I'm actually, like, making out with some other girl and writing a song about you. Like, it's all just so full of shit. It's gross.
Now, is the problem, though, with the song, what if he doesn't admit that he's messed around? Does the song have it?
Well, yeah, that changes everything.
Changed a lot, right? Because
Yeah.
he's
Well, because then we assume he's also true to her.
Right.
So, like, the thing that just drives me nuts is do not expect something from me that you are not willing to give yourself.
Yeah.
Even in any hierarchy of life, like if you're my boss and you ask me to do something, would you do it? Like, I kind of feel like we've all have to, like, pitch in and be able to do these things. And, like, but if you're my boyfriend or my partner or whatever, if you're asking something of me, you better be willing to give me the same thing.
Yeah. Partner.
I hate that word. It's so dumb. I know everyone loves it. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this from all of our million listeners.
Yeah, that's right. You're not a fan of the word partner. We've had this conversation before.
I think that word is so gross. It's like I know people have problem with the word boyfriend, girlfriend, like it sounds juvenile or something. I guess because I'm so old, it makes me feel younger, which is gross too in its own way. But partner, it's so like clinical or like partner.
Yeah, it doesn't conjure up like great sex.
No. It's elbow patches.
Like leaving my partner on a jet plane.
Sick. Who? No one is ever singing that song.
I kind of thought in today's like language policing world that if I searched up this song, I would find at least a couple websites or a Reddit thread that was like calling this guy out. Nothing. There doesn't seem to be nobody seems to have a problem with the main character here in the song. So I don't know. I feel like there's, and again, part of the reason we started this podcast, I feel like maybe people,
they need a reminder of the shit that's out there.
Hey, look, John Denver, rest of your soul. We're not calling you out, buddy.
Listen, people, my my partners at work, my colleagues, I guess,
Yeah,
my colleagues at work give me so much shit for loving like the sappy, maybe sanctimonious Sunshine on My Shoulder.
Yeah.
I love that song. I like a good sappy love song, even if it's about Colorado. But, so I love John Denver. No shade on John, but I do think that this song, you know why I think that it didn't get, have Reddit threads and stuff is because once it got that Vietnam overlay, everyone was kind of like, it gave it that.
Oh.
It's what it's known for.
Yeah.
The zeitgeist of the time in which it came out, so
Yeah.
then, well, now that's its association. So
Sure.
we didn't know that because now we're hearing it in a 2025 overlay, like really paying attention to the lyrics. Well, that was probably 2024. Really paying attention to the lyrics at that time, not thinking any relation to the Vietnam War. So once you put it there, it's kind of like, oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Denver recorded, here I'm back with my research partner, Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Denver recorded and released approximately 300 songs, about 200 of which he wrote himself. He had 33 albums and singles that were certified gold and platinum. But best of all, this is actually my favorite part about the commemoration of his songs. The Colorado State Legislature adopted Rocky Mountain High as one of its 2 state songs, and West Virginia did the same for Take Me Home Country Roads in 2014.
Both fabulous
Great songs. Better than this one.
So good. But how about like, I didn't know. Oh, maybe I did know. He's an avid pilot.
Well, that's how he died.
Oh.
97, he died. He crashed his plane.
Oh, sorry.
By the way, his birth name, born in Roswell, New Mexico in 1943, his birth name was Henry John Deutschendorf Jr.
God, it's a good thing you didn't go by that name.
Oh, that was...
Sunshine on My Shoulder by John Deutschendorf. Like, can you imagine the Nationalists with that?
Oh, yeah. No, they would...
No, he's an immigrant. He needs to go home.
Yeah.
Hey, but how many songs he had? Like, I'm conflating Sunshine on My Shoulder with Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah.
Because Sunshine on My Shoulder.
Thank God I'm a Country Boy.
Oh my God! Thank God I'm a country boy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
No, he had a lot of good stuff. The
Annie's song. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Even though we ain't got money.
Yeah.
Covered by Loggins and Messina.
Loggins and Messina. Also covered by Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Wow,
Gotta say, maybe they were big John Denver fans.
It must have been. But also, maybe we need to cover Loggins and Messina, the Winnie the Pooh song.
Oh my God.
What? Anyway, I'm digressing.
Yeah.
We need more champagne.
We do.
We are drinking champagne while we do this. That will be a feature of our podcast.
This episode brought to you by our consumption of mums. Not brought to you by mums, because but maybe we could get mums.
That would be great. I'd rather get Vouv. No offense, mums.
And we're back. That blank space that I put in there in the edits is where we're going to stick the mums ad in the future.
And all of our ads, all of our mini ads.
Oh, our mini ads,
We'll be sponsored by Chewy.
Oh, Chewy.
Yeah, because we have our pug.
We have our pug, yeah. Once we're like on video.
I have a sense too, though, that sometimes she'll sneeze or do something that will really cause a ruckus. And we're going to leave it in. You're not going to edit it out.
She's just sleeping right now.
Yeah, she fell asleep. Hopefully you'll hear her snoring.
It's her superpower. No, she's actually awake. Her head's kind of hanging out. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
So we'll just move on now to the third and final stanza as we kind of wrap up, leave it on a jet plane. So he kind of wraps up by saying, "Now the time has come to leave you. One more time, let me kiss you. Then close your eyes." Oh, she bonked her head.
She just bumped her head.
The pug bumped her.
Sorry, everyone. That's her.
That's her. So he's asking her to dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone, about the times I won't have to say, kiss me and smile for me, tell me that you'll wait for me. So he's giving her something to dream about.
So what I think about this is like, okay, viewing this from the lens, not wartime lens.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so now he's saying, like, what's going to change for him when he comes back
Oh, yeah.
to make him not play around anymore? Like, I feel like once a cheat, always a cheat. Like,
But maybe he's like not going to have to be on the road anymore.
I know, but then he's going to be bored.
Oh, yeah.
The
Or
roadie people.
maybe she'll travel with him.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that if you, what do I know? I'm not the cheating type, but I just think that I've never done it, but I have been with people who have done it. So then it's like, they did it with every other girl they've ever been with too. So then it's like, oh, you're a cheater. And there's all these, I know there's stereotypes, but like the stereotype, once a cheat, always a cheat. Like, I think that, there's some like seeking out other, or it's not even about the person you're with, your partner. It's more about filling that hole. This person who wrote this song has an empty hole in their heart, and this girl that he thinks he loves won't fill that hole.
Well, okay, so Denver, he was married in 1967, around the time that he wrote the song.
A year later.
He married a woman named Annie Martell from Minnesota. She's the subject. Yeah, nice babe. She's the subject of Annie's song.
Oh.
Which he said he wrote in 10 minutes as he sat on a Colorado ski lift. I kind of love that.
Annie's song is one of my all-time favorite songs.
Yeah. And then also Rocky Mountain High was inspired by a camping trip with Annie and some friends. However, though, if you scroll down a little bit further in said paragraph, they were divorced in 1982. In a 1983 interview shown in the documentary John Denver Country Boy, Denver said that career demands drove them apart. They were too young and immature to deal with Denver's sudden success.
Success / other girlfriends.
Yeah, maybe. We don't know. There's nothing in here about. We're speculating here.
Yeah, I'm. What do you call it?
What are you doing?
What did they call it? They call it
We're just guessing.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing, but I don't care that much. I have no skin in the game, John Denver. But I do think, like, perhaps, like, the fact that, it's not attributed to Annie. Annie's song is attributed to her, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he's saying, I've played around.
Yeah.
Just once you say that, I mean, hey, I applaud your honesty. I do think that makes the song deeper somehow. Like, it gives you more, but also more of a, you know what? It gives the song, it's more angst and sorrow, because ultimately it's not going to
You feel
work.
like it's doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that. Actually, that's an interesting point. That the song has this sort of like romantic aspiration, but you don't really feel like it's going to work out. There's not actually much long-term aspiration here. You don't come on the other side feeling like, oh, this couple's really got it in the lockdown for the future.
I think aspiration is the key word of what you're saying, because it's something strived for. That is not as a listener, I have the sense that is not achievable, because once he says, I've played around and everything, it's kind of like, this is a terrible comparison, but like a wife beater. You know how that guy's always like, oh, babe. And then, No,
it's not a terrible comparison, actually, though, because, this guy is admitted to cheating. He's telling her, like, tell me that you'll wait for me. But he's making promises to sort of keep her in that box.
I'm going to bring you a ring.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
You're going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't do it, girl. That guy, it's like he's going to cheat on you again. It's like the wife beater. They come back with, I'm so sorry, babe. I love you so much, on their knees, crying with gifts and platitudes. Like, listen, it's never happened to me, thank God. I'm very lucky. But I just think that those, they're not changing. They want to, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, to be clear, we're not saying this song is about like a wife beater.
No. And if we have to edit off,
no, we're not.
That's why I'm saying it's a bad comparison.
Yeah.
But, but I just think that there's something about, there's an equation of a person. He really wants to get his shit together, but ultimately at the end of the day, maybe that's what makes it a good song.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that, because the songs that we're going to be bringing on this show, we actually like them all. I think we're going to like them all. We're not. I love this. This is not like us. We're not canceling this song.
Oh God, no,
in fact, this is the opposite of canceling this song. So, yeah. Maybe that is what makes it a great song, because maybe without the vulnerability, the admission, maybe it's just a little too florid.
You know what? The song is a windows down, top of your lungs, sing it out kind of song on it.
Yeah.
That's why I think I remember it, because we were on PCH, we had the windows down, we're kind of singing along, and then we were like, whoa, wait, what is he saying? But I it was like a mood. It like brings you in a mood, 'cause I'm leaving, you're just singing it, it's so great. And anyone, like, who doesn't love a sing along? But then the song's longevity and like the meaning of it, it's like we all have that. Like, I want to give you all of me. And she's like the innocent in the song,
Yeah. The unnamed.
She's just in the background, like with a kiss and a smile.
Yeah, and another like recurring theme we'll probably find in the songs we talk about is who is the other person, right? Whether it's some breathy Bryan Adams song or Heart, like as you mentioned before, Richard Marx,
breathy,
yeah, breathy. Who is the other person? We don't know. Unless you have some. Maybe we do a duet and we can kind of put a face to who the other person might be. Peaches and Herb.
Yeah, that's that song that was on General Hospital. Yeah, you know the song.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure I do. Yeah, go ahead and find it. While you're finding it, I just want to bring your attention, listener, to a little footnote. It's not technically a footnote, but it could be in the Wikipedia article that says in the 1980s. Leaving on a Jet Plane, the song, prompted litigation involving the British group New Order. The band's single, Run 2, the number 2, 1989, was the subject of a lawsuit brought by Denver, who argued that its wordless guitar break was based on Leaving on a Jet Plane. The case was settled out of court, and Denver subsequently received a co-writer credit for the song.
Was it used? Most likely.
Well, yeah, 1989. I mean, that was like the heyday of sampling before lawsuits. No, really. I mean, because that's 89 is the same year as Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys, probably one of the greatest sampled albums of all time. They got away with so much shit on that album. And then you flash forward just a little bit further and you have Vanilla Ice being sued by Queen.
Wait, he wasn't giving him credit for Ice Ice Baby?
No. He tried to claim that it was different.
Oh, please, sir.
Yeah. No, he did.
Anytime you hear that song, you, for a second, think that you're going to hear Queen.
And when Queen sued, they settled. But, and again, we can double check all of this, whether that's exactly the sequence. But I'm almost positive he Vanilla Ice denied that he stole the sound. But, so this idea that right at that same time, Denver suing New Order, I feel like that had been a few years earlier, maybe not, but.
Can I just tell you what the Peaches and Herbs are?
Yeah, please go for it.
Reunited, 'cause it feels so good. You not know this song?
I mean, maybe.
Reunited. Everyone in the audience is like, Dan, come on. People were yelling Reunited before I looked it up. People know this song. Okay, because it was used for Luke and Laura for General Hospital. So it was like so huge.
Yeah.
It was, oh my God. Vanilla Ice's real name is something Van Winkle.
Yeah, something Robert Van Winkle.
Robert Van Winkle. He's also the Sandman, don't you know?
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
Hold on. But back on that subject though, the song. Okay, we're on Ice Ice Baby now.
Okay.
The song's hook samples the bass line of the 1981 song "Under Pressure" by Queen and David Bowie. Yeah. Okay. David Bowie, who did not receive credit or royalties. In a 1990 interview, Van Winkle. Claimed the two melodies were slightly different because he added an additional note on the "and" of the fourth beat.
Oh, sir, you are a thief.
In later interviews, Van Winkle readily admitted he sampled the song and claimed his 1990 statement was a joke. Others, however, suggested he'd been serious. Well, obviously, after representatives for Queen and Bowie threatened a copyright infringement suit against him, the matter was settled out of court, etc. Yeah, I mean, Bowie and all members of Queen were also given songwriting credit for the sample. Ice Ice Baby is written in the key of D minor. I don't know why they included that.
Wikipedia, your favorite site.
It is. Don't criticize it. It's beyond reproach. So there you go. So late 80s, early 90s, the beginning of the you can't just sample whatever the hell you want. And maybe that's, John Denver on the cutting edge of
the sample suit.
Of the sample suit.
Good job, John.
Yeah, John.
Bring it up.
Come on, John.
Get your money. You deserve it, John.
Yeah. No, I think he does.
At the end of the day, I think we've come to realize like what gives the song its meaning. The song has depth because of his like honesty, and it's also just a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Did I know you? I always thought it was a Beatles song. Oh, did the Carpenters do it?
No, I don't think so. Oh, that's right. We should have said at the beginning that you routinely think that this is done by the Beatles.
It's like I'm insane and I forget like every time. No, the Beatles covered this song for sure. Nope. Turns out not so much. I'm so sure of it though in my head.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you that I'm insane. But what about what had I just mentioned? I don't remember.
All right. I think we're going to leave it there.
Yeah. I'm in a brain fog.
Our debut recording. Done and dusted. So check the show notes. I'll be sure to link everything we talked about. It's mostly just Wikipedia links, if I'm being honest.
His best friend.
Also, johndenver.com, which I didn't know existed until 20 minutes before we started recording. And thanks for listening, everyone.
Cheers. Let's clink our glasses.
Cheers.
That'll be our ending.
Okay, cool. That clink brought to you by, and right in that space there, I'm going to like dub in.
Chewy dog treats.
Bums. Corbell.
Corbell? Sick. Don't even go there.
Hey, if Corbell wants to sponsor us, we'll do it.
I'm
not fucking turning down Corbell.
I'm not drinking it, though.
Okay.
That's a headache and a pot.
They don't need to know that.